The city of Lagos was glowing. With lights, fireworks were being prepared. Luxury hotels were fully booked. For many, New Year meant celebration. But for Samuel Adeyemi, it meant silence. Samuel was one of the youngest and richest businessmen in the country. He owned construction companies, hotels, and oil contracts. His mansion overlooked the ocean. His office was made of glass and gold. People respected him. People feared him. But nobody truly knew him. On the last day of the year, Samuel sat alone in his office, staring at the city below. His phone buzzed constantly. Business partners, politicians, fake friends. None of them mattered. He whispered to himself, "Another year gone and I'm still empty." Instead of attending a high-class New Year party, Samuel made a sudden decision. He left his luxury car behind and drove alone toward the outskirts of the city to a poor coastal community, where he was born but hadn't visited in years. In that small fishing community lived Zainab. Zainab was not rich. She lived in a tiny wooden house near the sea with her widowed mother and two younger siblings. But she was known for something more powerful than money: honesty. On New Year's Eve, while others prepared fireworks, Zainab was selling roasted fish near the roadside to earn enough money for her family's simple meal. She smiled at everyone, even those who couldn't pay. Her mother once told her, "Gold shines, my daughter, but truth shines longer." Zainab believed that. As the sun began to set, Samuel's expensive car suddenly stopped on a lonely road near the fishing village. Smoke rose from the engine. Frustrated, he stepped out. There was no network, no help, no assistance. Just sand wind and the sound of waves. That was when he saw Zainab. She was pushing her small fish cart home, humming a soft song. When she noticed the stranded man, she stopped. Without hesitation. "Sir, are you okay?" she asked, gently. Samuel looked at her simple dress, tired eyes, but calm confidence. "No," he replied honestly. "My car is dead, and so is my luck today." Zainab smiled. "Then maybe today is not bad luck," she said. "Maybe it's a pause." Her words surprised him. Zainab called a local mechanic and offered Samuel water. When the mechanic asked for money up front, Samuel reached for his wallet, but Zainab stopped him. "Here, we don't treat emergencies like business," she said firmly. Samuel watched in disbelief. No one had spoken to him like this in years. While waiting, Samuel asked, "Why are you helping me? You don't even know me." Zainab replied softly, "Because tonight is New Year, and no one should enter a New Year feeling alone." Her words pierced his heart. The car couldn't be fixed immediately. Midnight was close. Zainab invited Samuel to her home. Not a mansion, but a place filled with warmth. Her family shared their simple New Year meal with him: rice, fish, and laughter. As fireworks exploded far away the city, Samuel sat on the sand beside Zainab, watching the waves. "This is the first New Year I'm not pretending," he said quietly. Zainab smiled at the sea. "Maybe the New Year didn't bring you here by accident." For the first time in many years, Samuel felt something real. Peace. The clock struck midnight. A new year had begun, and two lives had unknowingly changed forever. The morning sun rose gently over the fishing village, painting the sea in soft gold. Samuel woke up to the sound of waves, not alarms, not business calls. For the first time in years, his chest felt light. Zainab was already awake, helping her mother clean fish outside their small home. She greeted Samuel with a shy smile. "Good morning, city man," she teased. Samuel laughed softly. "I think I like waking up poor," he replied. Zainab raised an eyebrow. "Careful. Poverty teaches lessons you can't return. Samuel stayed longer than planned. One day became 3. 3 became a week. He wore simple clothes, helped fishermen pull nets, and learned how hard life was when money didn't protect you. Zainab guided him through everything patiently, honestly. She never asked about his wealth. She never begged for help. That impressed Samuel more than anyone beauty ever could. One evening, while repairing nets together, Samuel asked, "Don't you ever dream of leaving this place?" Zainab paused, then said, "I dream of a better life, but not at the cost of my dignity." Those words stayed with him. Slowly, their bond deepened. They walked along the shore at sunset. They talked about life, pain, and hope. Samuel told her about his lonely childhood, his absent parents, and how money became his shield. Zainab listened without judgment. "You don't need armor around people who mean well," she said. Samuel felt his heart open, something he never allowed before. But he hid the truth. He never told Zainab who he really was. One afternoon, a black luxury SUV appeared at the edge of the village. Zainab noticed Samuel's sudden tension. Men in suits stepped out. They searched the area. Samuel quickly walked away. Zainab felt something was wrong. Later that night, she confronted him. "You're not just a businessman, are you?" she asked calmly. Samuel hesitated. "I run a small company," he said. Zainab nodded, but her eyes showed doubt. "Truth matters to me," she warned, gently. "If you lie to me, don't stay." Samuel's heart pounded, but fear won. He stayed silent. 2 days later, everything changed. The villagers gathered in shock as helicopters landed nearby. Security surrounded the area. A well-dressed woman stepped forward. "Madam Adayemi, Samuel's mother." Her voice cut through the air. "Samuel Adayemi," she said sharply. "Enough hiding." Zainab froze. The fisherman whispered, "Billionaire? That man?" Zainab's world collapsed. Samuel looked at her ashamed. "I wanted you to love me for who I he whispered. Zainab's voice trembled. "You didn't trust me with the truth." Tears filled her eyes. "I don't love your money," she said. "But I can't love a lie." She turned away. That night, Zainab packed her small bag and left the shore. Samuel stood helpless as his world fell apart. Madame Adayemi spoke coldly. "You embarrassed us. Come home." Samuel followed, but his heart stayed behind. The village returned to silence. Zainab stared at the sea, whispering, "The new year promised hope not heartbreak." In the city, Samuel returned to luxury, but it meant nothing now. In the village, Zainab returned to struggle, but kept her truth. Both wondered the same thing: can love survive when truth comes? Too late? The city welcomed Samuel back with noise, luxury, and endless meetings. But none of it touched his heart. Every night, as fireworks from late celebrations faded, Samuel stood by his glass window, staring at the ocean far away, the same ocean that separated him from Zainab. Money surrounded him. Peace did not. His mother tried to fix things here. "You will forget her," Madame Adayemi said coldly. "We will announce your engagement soon." Samuel looked at her with tired eyes. "You raised a rich man," he said softly. "But she taught me how to be human." That night, Samuel made a decision. Samuel resigned as CEO of his own company. The board panicked. The media exploded. He transferred management to trusted hands and sold one of his luxury estates. With the money, he quietly created a foundation for coastal communities: schools, clinics, clean water. Then, without announcement, without security, he returned to the fishing village. Zainab was selling fish again when she saw him. No suits. No bodyguards. Just Samuel, tired, honest, real. I didn't come to beg, he said. I came to take responsibility. He knelt on the sand. I lied because I was afraid. But love without truth is nothing. I choose you even if you never choose me. Again, Zainab's hands trembled. You broke my trust, she said, quietly. But you didn't break my values. Samuel stayed. He lived in a small rented hut. He worked alongside fishermen. He taught children under trees. He never used his name. Months passed. Slowly, Zainab saw that his change was not performance, it was sacrifice. One evening, she said softly, you came back without promises. That means more than words. Samuel smiled. This time, I came as myself. On the next New Year's Eve, Madame Adime arrived again but alone. She watched her son teach children to write their names in the sand. Her voice broke. I tried to give him the world, she said to Zainab, but you gave him meaning. Zainab replied gently, he just needed the truth. Madame Adime bowed her head, defeated by love. That night, the village gathered by the sea. No fireworks. No champagne. Just drums, laughter, and stars. Samuel took Zainab's hands. This new year, he said, I don't want success. I want a future with you honestly. Zainab smiled through tears. Then stay, she said. Not as a savior, as a partner. The villagers cheered. The ocean roared. The fishing village changed. There was a school, a clinic, and clean water. Children learned. Lives improved. Samuel never returned to the city. Zainab became a community leader. When their children asked about the New Year long ago, Zainab would say, he came with money. He stayed with truth. That's how love began.